His name is freaking Wardlow, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Wardlow. Wardlow. Brian Danielson, Jon Moxley. And the big one down below. Going on, everybody? Jon Moxley's belly button. Look at his belly button. Look how it looks. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. There's a poll in the chat right now, guys, about what you thought about the MJF versus CM Punk match, so please make sure you guys vote on that poll and tell us what you think, and tell me what you guys thought of AEW Dynamite tonight, but especially that main event is a big deal as well. I hope everybody's doing well. Let's get the poll up and see what's going on. It's already at 124 votes. MJF versus CM Punk, give us your rating, and it's a big rating. 54% say the match was awesome. 33% say it was okay. Better ratings than Raw, no doubt about it. What up to Testosterone in the chat? What's up, Shell? Smoke the Conqueror. That's a great name. Very ominous name. Hey, man, Wardlow makes an appearance, so let's hear from Wardlow. You guys want to hear from Wardlow? Let's start the show by hearing from Wardlow. Here you go. Hit us up, Wardlow.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.
Thank you so much, Wardlow. Good to hear from you. Thanks for the endorsement, you big beast. You helped the cheater win tonight. Ridiculous. Let's get ready to rumble. Somewhere Michael Buffer is being paid money to say let's get ready to rumble again. The guy's worth, what do we say he's worth? Like hundreds of millions of dollars. Michael Buffer is worth millions and hundreds of millions of dollars for literally just saying, let's get ready to rumble. It's unbelievable. I'm jealous. Yes, I'm jealous. You want to say, like, I'm jealous of Michael Buffer. What's up? What's up, Mr. Whitmore? Look at that ponytail on Bryan Danielson, looking fire, bro. Looking beautiful. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are well. Brian Kendrick was deleted by the establishment tonight. That was huge news. Brian Kendrick, a podcast he did, what they're saying, 10 years ago. I think they said 10 years ago. We're going to talk about that later. But we're also going to talk about AEW Dynamite. Where do we go from here with AEW? I thought the show was pretty good tonight, man. I thought it was a pretty nice show tonight. Not the greatest thing, but, you know, it's something, you know? Brandy is hot, man. I thought her segment was, well, it was something. Dude, Brandy was looking, oh, man, she was looking hot. Yeah, I mean, listen, I agree. I didn't mind the Dan Lambert situation. Some people I saw were rolling their eyes. They were disgusted by the whole thing. You know, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. I think some people didn't like it. Some people had problems with it, but I don't know. I thought it was fine. AEW starts off tonight with Jon Moxley coming out dressed like he's about to join a hip-hop group with them pants on. What the hell were those pants Jon Moxley were wearing? Then he was flexing his muscles. He's looking good, man. Sober Moxley looks pretty good. And Danhausen comes out with another reject-looking wrestler, Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta with Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Of course, Danhausen is with Orange Cassidy. You put all the misfits together. All the weirdos are together. I get it, right? You put all the goofballs together. Fucking hilarious. I mean, you know, came out of the ring the other day. You know, if he was really with Orange Cassidy, why didn't he help him more last week? You know, why did he just come from under the ring and then just go, oh, I'm out of here now? You know, why didn't you do something? What kind of way to help your friend is this? You know? How is this helping your friend, Danhausen? God damn it. Your limp-wristed ass. But, I don't know. Danhausen is, it's weird. I don't know what to think. It's like sometimes I don't like Danhausen. Then there's other times I do like Danhausen. I don't know what to think. Sometimes, like, I find him super annoying. And like he's an asshole or whatever. I think he's annoying. I don't know what to tell you. But then there's other times I'm like, yeah, I'd hire him. So it's like I can't. I'll just be honest. I contradict myself left and right with Danhausen, so I don't say much about him. I think I overall like him. I just don't know if that's the right decision. You know what I mean? I don't know if maybe that's a stupid decision. Kendrick said himself right before the WWE brought him back on a podcast with Lillian Garcia, he cleaned up his act, including conspiracy theories. He stopped believing all that stuff. Oh, wow. But then they dug up his old conspiracy stuff, and he got canceled from AEW tonight. I mean, dude, I think it's clearly someone from WWE dug it up. I think someone from WWE clearly set up Brian Kendrick. You know what I mean? I 100% believe that. All of a sudden, the day after he gets released by WWE, after he asks to be released, then all of a sudden he gets canceled by WWE, you know what I mean? Like, that's a little weird. That's a little strange. It's way too obvious to me. Somebody set up Brian Kendrick. Like, there's almost no way about it. I think it's someone from WWE. I think they reached out to him. They were like, you know what? Screw this. And they reached out to him. It's got to be. It's got to be that somebody did that to him. Nice little opening match. You know, Moxley was a funny point where Wheeler springboarded off the ropes and Moxley just kind of like moved out of the way and like threw him like aside like that. Like, yeah, you're nothing. Moxley just shits on Yuta, Wheeler Yuta. Flexes. This is a big sort of show-off match for Jon Moxley, although it did last about 6 minutes, so that's 5 minutes longer than I expected it to last. And then Daniel Bryan comes out, and things get a little interesting there.
Dragon has taken an outsized inch. His heart is pumping. He's just been through.
These guys obviously coming from WWE.
You know, for a long time, I wanted to see us fight too. Because you were different. I wanted to see what you had. But since you've come back, we've seen a new Jon Moxley. Everybody, give it up for Jon Moxley.
So, you know, Danielson comes in, tries to give some love to Moxley. Hey, I love you, brother. I don't know, he wants to form some kind of a tag team. We know where this is going.
AEW World Champion, and I don't care what anybody says, you were the best AEW World Champion.
Wow. Listen to this. Bryan Danielson coming in like Tony from Revere, sucking off anybody who'll listen to him. Unbelievable. I loved you. I don't care what anybody says about you. I loved you. Wow. It's right out of the same playbook, the same heel playbook. I mean, is it not? You can see this coming a mile away.
And if you had a little support, I think you would still be AEW World Champion.
Oh, if you had a little support, a little bit of my support. So this is a little methodical opening to AEW. I like it. I like where they're going here. Guys, if you want, the poll is up right now to vote on what you thought about AEW tonight. Let me know. It's specifically about the main event because, listen, we'll go over the rating of the show later. But specifically, I wanted to be fresh with what we thought about the rating of the main event. And that's really what I wanted to firstly get into. But that being said, we'll get into it.
Looks like my little lass needs a shave.
Oh, shit.
Brian Kendrick got cancelled for doing a fucking gimmick back in TNA. That's hilarious.
Is that really what it
Danielson
is?
and Moxley equals two-man power trip 2.0. Probably just me. I loved the MJF versus Punk match till the ending. Hope they
what did you say? Let me see. Hope they continue this revolution. 6 out of 10. Damn. Well, let me give you the Big Neck Dono song. Because you donated $32. Man, Soundwave, $32. I'm sorry there was nothing that played, so let's go ahead and play something. This is for the $32, man. Here you go.
Better have respect for my neck. You looked at yours, compared and wept. My neck's so big, I get extra breath. Breathing in my lungs won't accept. I can fit 1,000 cocked on my throat, I still don't choke. Big ass jaw make the girls go, ah, that's the biggest damn neck that they ever saw. Think that's big, wait till you see my bar. Oh, nah, biggest neck you ever saw. Oh, nah, biggest neck you ever saw. Oh, nah.
All right, Soundwave 92 coming in with the $32, man. I didn't know that's how Brian got canceled. I had no idea that was why he got canceled, the TNA gimmick. I thought it was a podcast he did like a long time ago. But I'm honestly confused about the whole thing about what he did exactly. You know? I wasn't sure. You know, it's like, oh, man. Wow. That's crazy. I thought it was that he went on and did a podcast. But I guess that's incorrect. Danielson and Moxley equals two-man power trip. Probably just me. I love the MJF versus Punk match till the ending. Hope they continue this revolution. Yeah, it's weird that they spent like almost 30 minutes on this match. It's the biggest dick I ever saw. Articulator. Yeah, it's crazy. 30 minutes on the match, only for it to end. At first, we thought, you know, with MJF cheating by choking out CM Punk with the, I think it was wrist tape. Anybody remember? It was wrist tape, right? I'm not crazy. And then the referee restarts the match, which is interesting. And then they continue, and then by the end, it all ends in another screw job. Distraction by Wardlow. Hilarious. And we're voting on what we thought about the match.
You see, here's the deal. Here's the deal. And I know everybody here loves AEW. I get it, right? I get it. But there is no reason why some millennial cowboy should be the AEW World Champion.
Oh. Millennial cowboy. That's friggin' fire. All right? Millennial cowboy. That's awesome.
There's no reason why somebody dressed as a dinosaur should be an AEW World Tag Team Champion.
So now Brian Danielson's going into the Cornette bag of tricks as well. He's stealing from Dan Lambert right now. Like, what are you doing?
There's no reason why somebody whose main contribution to society is creating a vlog should be the TNT champion. Listen, Mox, together, you and me, we could run this place. Whatever we wanted. If you wanted to be AEW World Champion, you can be AEW World Champion with me. If we wanted to be AEW World Tag Team Champions, we could be AEW World Champions together. If we wanted to take some of these young guys, somebody like Wheeler Yuta, you see, he's coming out here with jokes. He's coming out here with Orange Cassidy, with Danhausen. What if we took somebody like Wheeler Yuta under our wings? What if we took somebody like Daniel Garcia away from 2.0 and we mentored him? What if we took somebody like Lee Moriarty, instead of him being around Matt Sydal and Dante Martin with his high-flying bull crap, what if we took him under our wings and we trained the future of professional wrestling together?
That was about it. It was an interesting exchange. It was
those bulldogs popping out of your.
It was a weird exchange. And then Dan Lambert called Brandy Rhodes' tits bulldogs. Something about bulldogs popping out of her chest or whatever. I mean, that was that was crazy, kind of. I don't know.
Your T-shirt right now.
Oh, yikes.
But you can't pretend that you're not getting booed out of this ring, even though you're standing next to a rich, angry, conservative, sexist, AEW-hating old man like me. I almost feel like a decent human being standing next to you.
Oh, my God. Dude, the Dan Lambert. I mean, there was a lot of promo at this part. We had, 10 minutes from Moxley and Bryan, and then we get this with Dan Lambert. So it was a weird night, though, I will say. To have the match open the way it did with Moxley and Yuta, it's kind of weird. And then to go into the promo with Daniel Bryan and Bryan Danielson trying to get Moxley to, train wrestlers with him or something? I mean, that was weird, but interesting in a way. And then Dan Lambert came out and was kind of savage with Brandy. So that was interesting. And then we go to another promo in the back. And so far, we're about 30-something minutes into the show. 8 minutes of wrestling and a whole bunch of promo stuff, which is fine.
I may just take his girl, you feel me?
Look, I gotta ask you.
Yeah, no, I may just take his girl. Dude, nobody makes a reaction after that. Listen to that again, dude. That was that. Oh. I didn't hear it live, but I was going back during the commercials to look at some things I missed earlier in the show. And that was the most loser comment ever, and it's no-sold by everybody. Listen to this.
Just wait. I don't want any mistakes. Look, Andrade, it's not gonna be mistakes, all right? I'm gonna take his title tonight, and if I feel like it, I may just take his girl, you feel me?
Look, I gotta ask you.
Dude, what the fuck was that? We gotta clip that. I may just take his girl. Caca. Like, what the fuck?
Look, I gotta ask you.
Let me play that again.
Just wait. I don't want any mistakes. Look, Andrade, it's not gonna be mistakes, all right? I'm gonna take his title tonight, and if I feel like it, I may just take his girl, you feel me?
Look, I gotta ask you.
I mean, dude, what the hell was that?
I may just take his girl, you feel me?
That's the best thing Private Party has ever done, dude. That's the best thing they've ever done. Oh, my God.
And look at his look. How he looks.
You feel me?
Listen, I cannot get over that. Caca. I don't know.
Stop punching my cock. That's all I got. Stop punching my cock. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop punching my log. Oh my God. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop it.
Thank you, show. Pretty good show tonight. 7 out of 10. Loved Brian Danielson promo. Best part of the show. And I don't care if this is popular or not. There is nothing feminine. About you know who. Beast. F her. Oops, I mean it. Oh, man. Wow, Shell. I don't even think I can say what you said. Oh, my God. What got blanked out? What the hell did you say that got blanked out? I really got to take the filter off. Let me go. I'm going to do that right now because that's starting to bother me. And then I got to read it. It makes it worse for me. Let me go to account setting. Hold on a minute. Let me go here and figure this out. Donation settings. All right. We're going to figure this spam filter out right now. Profanity filter. All right. There we go. All right, there we go. I believe I fixed it. So now hopefully you won't get blanked out going forward in the future with that bullshit. So hopefully that won't happen again. Although I don't know what word. Oh, you said, let's see if it works now.
Oh, yeah. We got a new subscriber. Yeah.
Let's go.
Freak out.
Jakeinator 722, man, thank you for subbing to the channel. You're actually the 25th person to subscribe to the channel today. 25 subs today, man. That's pretty cool. All because of our video earlier today and you guys hanging out. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, man, 25 and counting. If you're new, hit that sub button and join the party if you guys can. If you got some time and you want to do it, join up. And love to have you here. But let's see if it works now. Let's see if it works. Let's go over to the button and we're gonna find out. All right, Shell, I think it's gonna work now. So I think in the future when you donate, it won't get covered up. Well, we'll wait for this subscription alert to go away, but let's just play one more time from the private party guy.
Title tonight, and if I feel like it, I may just take his girl. You feel me?
I gotta ask you.
That's wild. What the hell? Let's see if it works, Shell.
Please stop punching my cock. That's all I got. Stop punching my cock. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop punching my log. Oh my God. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop it.
Pretty good show tonight. 7/10 loved BD promo. Best part of the show. Oh, and I don't care if this is popular or not, but there is nothing feminine about Nyla Ho's Beast. Fuck her. Oops, mean it.
Oh, man. There it is. It played. Thank you, Shell, for the $21. It's not going to beat the top dono of Soundwave 92, but it is sweet to see it uncensored at that point. So, Shell, enjoy your uncensored dono there. Much appreciated. Thank you. Let's see if we can expand it. There it is, Soundwave. You get the big prime real estate at real estate at the top. Real estate?
Feel me?
I can't get over that. So anyway, the show continues after that private party Andrade weird backstage crap thing. And then, Aleister Black and Pac and everybody come out, and Pac reveals that his eyes are okay, I guess, and he can see. I'm not 100% sure. I was confused about this match, and maybe I haven't been paying attention.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase
I'm gonna leave it
right here.
Drew Bar.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here. I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here.
Come on.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here.
Son, run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch.
You got the big boobs, the big ass, the big fat
bitch. Don't you think I'm a fucking terrorist? Run, you fat bitch.
Come on.
Run, you fat bitch.
Your tracks today.
Never run so hard in all your damn life.
Run, you fat bitch.
Yo.
Love you, Joe. The shows have been amazing recently. Thank God for your reviews. Can't stand the weekly shows anymore. To all the fakes, we know who you are and we are watching. Have a great show, Joe.
Oh, shit. Drew Bar calling him out. You're always keeping it real, Drew Bar, aren't you? Well, Drew Bar, this one's for you, buddy. Listen to this.
I'm coming for you.
There you go. That's all for you, Drew Bar, you sex beast of a goddess. Listen, if I want to go to somebody's house and start a small fire in their wife's underwear, I can do it. All right? All because of you, Drew Bar. What up to Ryan Sully in the chat? Hit that like button if you guys can. We'll talk about the Kendrick stuff later. Brian Kendrick being canceled. I mean, just crazy stuff today. Tony Khan putting out a tweet about it. We have some clips about it and some other things about it we'll talk about. That's all on the table a little bit later. But, yeah, this is craziness. Drew Bar, thank you so much, dude, for the 1984, the year I was born, and 1984, the George Orwell book that we're all about to be living in over the next couple of years because this fucking world's lost its mind. Appreciate it. But let's go back to, I was talking about Pentagon or whatever.
The black kid got arrested for doing black things.
Oh, that's terrible. But, yeah, Pac and, whatever, Cerro, Miero, fucking whatever, against, basically the point of what I'm trying to say about this is maybe I lost track of this because of everything else that was going on. It's possible that I lost track of it because of that, but I did not know this match was taking place tonight, or I couldn't remember it was taking place tonight, and I couldn't figure out. I guess it felt unimportant in a way. It almost felt like it snuck up on me, like I wasn't ready for it. I thought it was going to be a bigger thing at some point, and all of a sudden I was watching it, and I didn't realize that it was going to go down tonight. And, House of Black picks up the victory. And I thought that they were sort of building to this bigger thing with these two guys, and maybe I'm crazy, and I missed something, or I wasn't paying attention because the Royal Rumble week was so big or whatever. But I don't know. It's fine that House of Black is kicking ass and that they did well here and whatever else. I get that. Totally understandable. But I just thought it was kind of like Pentagon. What did I call him? I don't remember. Yeah, Moxley looks really good, man. He does. He looks like he's lost the alcohol. Maybe he was eating better too. He's really slimmed down. Probably in better cardio shape. His heart right now, Moxley's heart is probably thanking him for it, And yeah, it just felt like that they was like an afterthought match that was supposed to be a bigger build, but whatever, they move on. Adam Cole cuts a fairly decent promo, but very quick in the back. Then we get to Nyla fucking just shit bum. And her match with Ruby, fucking horrible whatever. I didn't care for that at all. You know, if people liked it out there, and there was a commercial break in it. These women can't cut a break. Even when something good's going on, they throw the commercials up over them. Nyla goes to set her up in the middle of the ring with a power bomb or something's going on, and it gets reversed. Ruby Soho does this step-up kick, and Vicky Guerrero puts the foot under the rope. Obviously, Aubrey should know that Vicky did it. Ruby Soho gets out of the ring to chase a widow, then grabs her hair. And then from behind, Nyla, Rose grabs her. Very Undertaker, Paul Bearer-like stuff going on here, which I like. Then it might have been was it a backbreaker or might have been a neck breaker. A neck breaker back into the ring. Nice enough way to get heat or whatever, I suppose. Ruby Soho climbing to the top rope. This match was seemingly getting better, I thought. All this outside interference. And, I started thinking, like, maybe this will be Nyla Rose's best match in AEW yet. Hasn't had a whole lot of good ones to me. Ruby Soho can't hit this scissor thing she was going to do. Gets thrown off the top. I wasn't until that point that I started being like, oh, okay. And then it was really funny. I think Ruby went to do another like step up kick or enziguri type of thing. And she missed because Nyla, I don't know if she pulled her hair or did something to her. And then just got out of it. And then just boom, like thunder blast, beast bomb, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it might have been one of Nyla Rose's better matches. I still didn't care that much for it. But it could have been my complete disinterest in this whole thing to begin with. But overall, I mean, basically it was a decent way to get heat on Rose and Vicky Guerrero and whatever, It was nice enough. It wasn't the worst thing that I've seen Nyla Rose do. I've seen her do a lot worse stuff. So I know that some people didn't like it. Then the ass heads appear for a second, and they tried to jerk each other off in the shower. We'll get into cowboy shit at some point, too.
Oh, yeah. We got a new subscriber. Yeah. Freak out. Freak out because I got Miss Elizabeth's body parts in my basement. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Macho Man, why do you say things like this on my show? We've been over this a million times. Macho Man, you really got to stop it. We can't continue with this show if you're going to keep doing these things. Let's go over to the Discord for a brief moment. Shock Nation Wrestling, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. Big time Shock Nation Wrestling. Let's go to the Rastafas of the world, potentially. We got Dan Kennedy. Joe? What up, Dan?
Not much. What's good with you?
Hey, man. I got something in my pants right now. What's up, Rastafa?
I bet you fucking do.
Ugh.
Hey, yo, Chico.
What's up, man? Listen, let me ask you about that Nyla Rose match. What do you think about that match?
Nyla Rose, man. I was doing some other shit, man. And I totally missed the match at Jefe.
Wow, man. It's one of her better matches. It still wasn't that great, but it was one of her better ones. It wasn't good.
I thought it was mediocre.
Yeah, it's definitely mediocre. But, like, it wasn't like a crap fest, like usual with her shit. What do you think of what about the relationship with Jake Roberts and Dan Lambert? What's going on there? In case one dies, they got the other guy?
It's his supplier.
Oh. That's fucked up.
Like oxygen supplier, because he has like the whole gimmick on.
Here I thought they were fuck buddies.
Well, we got to really talk about the fact, man, that Jake Roberts is a god. This guy beat cancer, he beat COVID, he beat alcoholism, drugs, he beat
daughter,
incest, beat his daughter. I mean, this guy has beat everything. You got to give it to Jake the Snake Roberts, man. This is pretty crazy.
Now, the only thing he needs to just be consistent with, man, is oxygen.
Exactly. I'm sure he had trouble with COVID. But
I know he
it.
did.
This is killing me, man. But he just, no, dude, he was doing interviews. He announced he had COVID, and I think it was like a week and a half later, Jake Roberts was up doing interviews again. So
He's got the whole thing with Conrad Thompson and the whole podcast.
Well, I heard him on, maybe he does, but I've heard him on other places, on shows everywhere. So Jake, the Snake Roberts, man, he made his goddamn rounds. And that's pretty awesome because he had COVID so he just kicked COVID's ass. And that's after
David the
cancer.
DDT, brother.
Yeah, man, I can't say enough that's pretty crazy, man, that Jake Roberts beat the shit out of COVID. He's somebody you think you'd be worried about. Yeah, Dan Lambert's probably supplying fentanyl, for all we know. Let's go to the donation real quick.
Looks like my little lass needs a shaving.
No.
What up? It's Black History Month, so every day of February that Joe is live, I will be giving the listeners a brief history lesson of notable slave rebellions, not only in American history but world history as well.
Jesus.
Stay tuned for my next donation.
Oh, God.
All right, well, Black Power History Month is here, man. Happy Black History Month. It is. No doubt. It's February. You're right. Wait. That's this month. Okay. Yes. You're right. Thank you, Black Power History Month. We'll see what happens. We'll see if you can educate us on these things. He's going to program us all with the CRT. Yes, go ahead.
Is February Black History Month? Does that make March Irish History Month?
No, yeah, it is Irish History Month. Everybody gets to learn how drunk we always are. It's great. Dude, we don't have time to go over the history of the Irish people. You talk about slavery. We're talking about hundreds of years of slave.
Oh, I know.
Slave. Slaving each other, taking the land back, going back over. That's a longer history lesson than Black history. Less relevant because it was older, but Jesus, you want to get into the fucking, wow. That would be another lesson.
A lot of blood.
A lot of blood has been spilled. You thought, well, we'll talk about that later. Oh yeah, well, listen, that's how you deal with it. When you lose a limb and your wife won't sleep with you anymore, you start creating whiskey.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you slip the shillelagh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the shillelagh used to be used to rub up on imagine rubbing a girl down with the end of the shillelagh right on her little camel. Oh my God, I would love to see that.
Would you? No, I'm not even going to ask you that question.
Imagine, imagine a leprechaun just having his way with a woman with the shillelagh, and in like a porno,
just call him Hornswoggle.
Exactly.
Just watch midget porn. That's all you got to do. Just watch midget porn. I'm sure they have something like.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're like, I'm trying to get to the pot of gold in a pussy hole. Yeah, you know what's happening. I'm sure. And
I'm here to get you Lucky Charms, something like that.
Do you remember when OK Fabe was doing the Drew McIntyre gimmick? It's like, oh, you come on, Toby showing.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was also made for blowing.
Yeah, that was funny stuff. He's dead now, but that was funny then.
Oh man.
So they they basically they canceled Brian Kendrick. What do you think about that?
What exactly did he do? Exactly, I didn't understand what he did exactly.
Well, all right, so I've got the comment he said, but I've also got somebody sent me the video of him, and here it is. Let's see.
Or their descendants are the ones who are controlling the plane.
Sure, the 13 families, the 13 bloodlines that keep interbreeding. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers.
Right about that.
I know it was the Bushes who had a different name from before. I don't know, but Stuart Wardlow has pretty good information, all that online. Lots of it out there. But boy, oh boy, you and I both went to the same 11-hour lecture of David Icke, and he broke it down. It's all there. There's the connections between the Zionists, Illuminati, the destruction of the world, even with the Jewish medics already being flown to Haiti within minutes after the earthquake, prepared, ready to go. I'm not saying the medics were in on it, but I'm saying the Zionists who run things were there to scoop up the body parts. They were there to take eyeballs, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. So don't know. That's one thing. I don't know because he said that. I don't understand why the guy is canceled for making
Is he
these.
on drugs?
No, it's real simple. He's canceled because he doesn't drink the Kool-Aid and take the party line, suck the dick of the elites and these body mofos.
I mean, honestly, Brian has always been like this in a way. I don't think a lot of people know this, but he's very intelligent when it comes to like the theories of conspiracy and this and that. But ultimately, he's not. Trust me, he is not a dumbass. He actually has a lot of interesting knowledge that most people wouldn't know about on a regular. But this case, I mean, again, it's anybody who goes on a social media platform and just says whatever they feel.
No,
whatever they
bro, look, hang on. I got to cut you off. I literally had a podcast that I did with my friends about conspiracy stuff. And we did one episode that was titled Where One Goes, We All Go, which is a Q-related thing. And for the record, I'm not a Q person. But we were using the name as a funny gimmick. They wrote down our whole entire podcast. Apple did. Never even told us we didn't have a strike. Pulled the whole thing down overnight and sent us an email. Said, "Oh, well, we found your content, blah, blah, blah. We threatened nobody. We hurt nobody, all because we questioned the narrative."
Well, how many views did you get?
Our biggest show, we were very small. We had only done maybe 20 episodes. I think our biggest one had maybe 1,500 people. It was not big. We were nobodies. So this is my point here. For Brian Kendrick to come out and say anything that is not the acceptable narrative that they're throwing out, you get canceled for it. I hope Tony Khan has never said anything bad in his life. And let's not forget, this is the same guy that a month ago had to use the excuse of, I'm not racist, I have a black friend.
Right.
Okay? Right. So if this dude is calling out people, who's next?
Well, yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing necessarily with the idea of speaking the mind and also bringing certain things to light if that is the case. But again, no, I'm all about evidence backing up the claim. I'm just saying that as an overall thing.
Okay,
I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm just saying, let me see everything in a row and make sense out of it, so that way I can conceptualize what it is that is being talked about.
When you start living in a world where you can't question anything,
that sucks.
You're at the risk of being silenced, have a paycheck took away from you. That's getting into some real communistic, socialistic territory that I don't think anybody wants.
All he has to do is just brush it off. All he has to do is just brush it off like Robert Downey Jr. does, and there you go. Move on. Yeah. So
yeah, you should have made AEW the bad guys. I mean, look at this. Here's him reacting to it apparently a little while back.
Back to the story of you getting the call. How did that feel?
Oh, it was great. When it finally happened.
Because now that's 2-3 years, like you said, that was in the making.
Yeah.
So you finally get the call. Were you one of the first to know that it's happening?
I think so. I think to my understanding, I was the first American phone call, and then had to pass. It was like they did this whole background check, and so I was yellow carded, yellow flagged.
Yeah.
Means that they had to take caution and bring me in because
this is why I'm not hired, by the way.
I got in trouble in the past, said a lot of horrible things, done a lot of horrible things.
About the company?
About the company.
Because you were angry.
Oh, yeah.
This was during your angry spell.
Yeah, and immature and ungrateful and then even stuff like conspiracies, like we can't have you talking about conspiracies. I understand.
Yeah.
Any of that stuff, like you gotta clean up your act. You gotta do this. You gotta do that, and done deal. So.
That was 2017, apparently, and the conspiracy.
When he came back.
What?
When he came back.
Yeah, when he came back, and that stuff that he said was from 10 years ago about the Holocaust stuff. So that's very interesting. I think WWE leaked it out because think about it. He gets hit up by he says, "Please release me, WWE." They do, and then it's publicized everywhere that now he's going to AEW the next day after they release him and give him what he wants. And then all of a sudden this story comes out.
Right, and then Mustafa Ali is still under contract, and they won't let him out of his contract.
Exactly.
You wonder why?
No, because exactly, because they don't want him showing up like he just did. He probably don't have a 90-day clause either.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I look at this, Joe, and this is what's really frustrating. And again, I know it's different for everybody based upon importance, based upon how much. Because look at it this way: WWE invests a lot of money into their stars, depending on what it is or how bad the gimmick or how good the gimmick is. It doesn't matter. They invest money into you. I get the idea that Brian Kendrick wasn't an active main roster guy on a consistent basis, but Mustafa Ali technically is. But if you notice, even before Ali said all he said on Twitter, he was barely ever even on Raw or SmackDown.
Right.
The last major angle that I remember was the Saudi show when he went up against the other Saudi. Yeah, exactly. So it goes to show that there's some type of double standard that even so, like if you're saying that you want to use Ali, well then use him for what he's actually good at and stop trying to make him into something that he's not. As well as the fact that you have Sami Zayn, who, as we all know, is a Canadian and is also, I believe, Islamic, if I'm not mistaken. Let that be Ali's, if anything, let him just be himself. But again, apparently that's not profitable, being yourself. Ironically, Austin.
I thought Sami Zayn was Jewish or something. And that's why he's having that.
Still, it's like, let the guy be able to create his art. When you hire an artist, Joe, are you hiring him to do exactly what it is in terms of the overall, I want this? Or are you hiring an artist to be an artist for what he brings to the table and trusting that artist?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of that. It's that, but it's also you have an idea of how you can utilize the artist, It's like, you hire a painter because there's a reason, If he starts painting fucking dildos when you wanted plants, I mean, you're still going to have an issue, but this was clearly a setup for Kendrick. I mean, somebody sniped him with this on purpose, I think.
Maybe Shane McMahon did it.
Well, maybe Shane McMahon might be on Dynamite next week, for all we know.
So, Joe, is he officially gone? Because I've only heard the rumor, just this morning.
So, I don't know what it means. I don't know what his contract is. I don't know what anything is. I just know that it sounds like he's off the production at this time, and that he's not going to be wrestling anymore. Like he was supposed to have a whole thing going into Mania, and he's been kind of sent home. And so but they're saying quietly let go. So he might have been basically like, hey, Shane, we're not going to do any of this anymore. We're out, and we don't have anything for you anymore. Is that fired? Is that quietly let go? I don't know.
I consider that a fire because based upon the heat allegedly that was rumored coming out of the locker room,
right?
That apparently that not only rubbed wrong ways with the boys, but the idea. And again, I understand your point, Joe, that you said well, maybe because he's a little bit older, maybe he didn't want to do too much in the ring at the Rumble. At the end of the day, dude, it's not about one individual and just thinking this is great. Because honest to God, that Rumble, that male Rumble on Saturday, looking back at it, was just for whatever reason piss poor.
But
the last 10 minutes of it was good.
But that's the point. That's what he basically booked to the last 10 minutes to be the thing, because what if they didn't do that? I mean, the only thing I can think is put Bad Bunny at the beginning, put Shane in the middle. But other than that, I mean, you know what I mean? He booked who was available to be booked.
I would have put Shane in the beginning just to get it over with.
Huh.
If you think about it,
there's not a lot of surprises.
At number 1, or come to have Shane come
no, number 5, and do some interesting spots, because I think Austin Theory was at number 3.
Yeah,
and plant some seeds. You don't have to do it full board, but just plant some seeds and then throw them out maybe 10 minutes after the fact. And then again, that would have been a better pace. And as you said, Joe, put Bad Bunny in this spot, then put Johnny Knoxville in this spot. It would have been hilarious and probably a bad booking idea to have Johnny Knoxville and Bad Bunny kind of like face each other, and then Bad Bunny making Johnny Knoxville look horrible.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought Bad Bunny would eliminate Knoxville. I thought, Shane would have been eliminated by like a group of the boring bad guys, and so at the end of the Rumble, it looked like there really wasn't anybody that could win that you'd want to win. And so that way when Brock Lesnar came out, he would get that much of a bigger pop. So I thought it was weird that Randy Orton, the hometown guy, was still in there when Lesnar was coming out, and Shane had been in there, and you kind of had all this I would have booked it probably different as well and spread out some of the surprise, because there really was no surprises until the very end, and even those surprises weren't very, other than Shane, you kind of thought Bad Bunny would be there, and you thought maybe Shane would be there, and that was it. And you thought Lesnar was going to come out. We all thought Lesnar was going to be in the Rumble. So it really, there was no surprises. The Rumble was just there to tell the story of Brock Lesnar angry, I win Rumble. Like that, and that's what I thought all along. So I don't know what Shane, I do think you could have booked the Rumble in a better order, and it would have made it maybe a little better. But how much better really could the Rumble have been anyway? So that's the thing that I'm getting at. I know,
and also, Joe, if you think about it, I don't even think there was even a legend that came back in the male Rumble.
No, I don't think anybody did.
One legend. So it kind of misproportioned itself. I mean, again, I was really high on X-Pac. And funny enough, X-Pac posed right after the Rumble pay-per-view, and everybody was so bummed. And you're like, sorry, guys, I never got the call. So
yeah. Good thing
especially after the GCW pay-per-view, if you want to call it that or whatever. Everyone was high on him because now he's going to be doing that tag match, I guess, with I guess Joey Janela and with Matt Cardona and I believe his former partner. I can't remember, not think off the top of my head, but yeah, it's going to be that type of match. And X-Pac, I mean, if you look back at that pay-per-view, he looked phenomenal.
Bro, he was in there for 30 seconds. Come on.
30 seconds and was the most over.
He looked like an older Daniel Bryan. It was weird.
No, Garguts. That brother looked in the best shape he's ever looked in, and I've watched his brother since I was.
And then he went back to his
Have you seen the rest of the GCW lineup? They're a definition of a trash bag wrestler. They have a dude that's like 500 pounds. He was out there in a black tee and nasty looking gray sweatpants, and they call that a wrestler. That place was
Did you hear that Impact did you hear the Impact fucking tag team, the chicks fucking Iconics, whatever? They denied their fucking Royal Rumble appearance.
Oh no, but I'm not surprised by that. I mean, Joe, you shouldn't be surprised by that.
I went on a rant about it already.
Exactly. So
of course they're like, "Fuck you." Are you serious? Like that's. I mean, maybe if it was a year from now, and they've been living the indie life, they would have said, "Hell yeah, we'll go back for a second." Okay.
I'm still shocked though that even Mickey James even said yes, because I think that was probably maybe the only advantage that Impact would have, because Mickey is more of a proven commodity.
I think WWE was trying to give her love, and it was under the condition that she, be able to feature her Impact Wrestling stuff. And I think they said, okay, sounds good.
And most likely this is going to lead to the Hall of Fame.
That's a great point. I didn't think about that, but
yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, it's still kind of soon for her anyway.
I don't think so. I mean, she started like 2006?
Isn't Lita in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. But there's a bunch, there's a lot of people that aren't. I mean, I don't know. It's still kind of, I mean, she could go in the Hall of Fame, but, I mean
the Bellas are in the Hall of Fame, for crying out loud.
That is weird. I mean, that's just.
Khali is in the Hall of Fame, for crying out loud.
What?
The great Khali is in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, is he really? Well, I mean, I guess he is one of the biggest competitors ever. I mean, I don't know. Well, let me ask you this: is like Big John Studd? He's in the Hall of Fame, right? Anybody know?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. I don't think so. He could be.
I don't
think he is.
If people like that are in there, then I guess it makes sense. I mean, he's better than Khali. So if he's not in there, what the fuck is Khali doing in there? It doesn't, none of it make any sense. I don't even care about the Hall of Fame. I almost don't care. Speculation on it, I couldn't care. Mickey James goes in this year, next year, 10 years from now, I couldn't give a shit. I'd put her in like the next 5-6 years, and that's. But I don't care. You know, I mean, she goes in, she doesn't go in.
Shit bum.
Oh.
How many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? None.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. You can just eat them all day and night. Colonel Stutters, thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum. Dono wave coming in from Colonel Stutters. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you know, I had potatoes yesterday, to be honest. We lived off those things.
No way. Me too.
Yeah. That's why I'm a super gringo. Colonel Stutters, thank you, man. You lived off taco shit. So what else about tonight stuck out? What do you think about... Let me hear Jake Roberts for a second. Let me see this.
Say backstage. Huh?
Shut up, little boy.
Shut up, little boy.
You know, people are telling me you're starting to act different. That you're jumping around looking behind you. What, are you starting to have bad dreams or something? Maybe even a nightmare, if you will? What is it? You smell something? I smell something. You see him sweating? I think it's fear. Fear's what you are. Everybody shut the hell up. Patience, do this. Let's go.
That was just weird.
Jake's voice, I mean, you can hear it, man. Like, I don't want to think bad thoughts, but, like, I don't know how many good years he has left.
Well, no shit, but I mean, I just think the promo is weird. Like, I heard everything. I heard Jake Roberts better than Red Roosterhead. Like, he's like,
I think you're fear. I think I smell fear in you.
And then all of a sudden, Lance Archer comes out and goes, hey, no, oh my God, and spikes the mic. And I was like, what did he just say? I don't even know what he just said. Like, go back for a second.
If you will.
I smell fear.
You smell something? I smell something. You see him sweating? I think it's fear. Fear's what you are. Everybody shut the hell up. Patience, do this. Let's go.
Prince is good.
Everybody shut the hell up.
It sounds like he's trying to be a metal singer.
Man, he's such a lame person. I don't know why. He even comes off lame doing this. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. And by the way, Jake Roberts beat COVID. He's going to be fine. Jake Roberts beats COVID. He's got plenty of days left. He kicked its ass. And then, I mean, I like...
I know he kicked its ass, but again, it's all about oxygen, brother.
I know. But... now, if he had gotten that other thing where it took over the lungs or whatever, wow, and then Lance Archer just completely misses Page. I mean, it was just... Oh, God, I just can't like Lance Archer.
I know. It's honest to God, whenever you think he's going to go on even a roll, if that's even possible.
And he's heel again. He's heel again? He was just a face again.
It's the same thing with Elias in recent years.
Yeah, it's kind of like Elias. He's like Elias and Braun Strowman rolled into one. Now I sort of I like him as a heel better because I don't buy him as a face, but and this was okay. I like what they did for the most part. I just can't help but laugh about him. Let's see what he says on this promo though, because again, he's usually really bad on the promos, and which is funny because he's got Jake there and Jake's so good. Let's listen though. I didn't hear this part. By the way, he's cutting a promo as they're talking over him at this point.
Next Wednesday, everything changes, and I'm the Murder Hawk Monster, and I'm going to be the new AEW Heavyweight Champion, and I don't give a damn what anybody thinks or wants.
At least he didn't say everybody dies. That was, thank God. You know,
he sounds like Sid if he was constipated.
Yeah, kind of a little Sid-ish. Yep, less threatening. Dresses like a sort of a fancy boy. With his yeah. I mean, like, listen, I'm down with the Matrix dress. You know me. I've dressed goth before. I love dressing weird, but something about Lance is weird. I don't know.
Honest to God, if he were to just slow down and just make it more methodical, like Jake used to do back when he was like a heel in WWE, just slowing it down.
That's it.
Not only would it be more menacing, but just in clearer context, I can understand what he's saying, and he doesn't have to say a whole lot.
Exactly, I agree. I think that's a big thing he needs to do. That's a great point. Slow it down, be more methodical. He needs to be less like the cool guy the guy that wants to be the guitar player in the band so girls will bang him. That's what he seems like. And
I mean, again, his catchphrase, everybody dies, is a great catchphrase. But I'm like, even if you just said that and be like Raven, quote the Raven nevermore, you don't have to say that much.
Well, no, it'd be great if he left wreckage everywhere. Like he constantly destroyed people and did things like that.
Oh, he did that in the beginning, and then next thing you know, it wasn't happening anymore.
Did he rip off ripping half a ladder when he debuted?
He might have debuted all right for a second, but most of his whole career, he's lost. Like, go back and look at it.
Mediocre.
Yeah, 65 to 75% of the time, Lance Archer loses. And then he comes out and says everybody dies. So I've never... there was only one point recently, remember, where he started winning, and I went, oh, everybody is going to die, okay. And then he's back to losing, and then he goes away. Then he comes back as a face. Seems like he's getting a push. And now he's back to heel again. So he's all over the place.
I think it's just because they know that Hangman needs different types of opponents.
Yes.
And in Tony's mind, he wants to make him legitimate by having a diverse realm of opponents for Hangman. But I'm going to be quite honest with you, Joe. I mean, we all wanted Hangman to be the champion originally, but it's like the bloom was already off the rose the moment that he had a lot of setbacks. And at this point right now, I don't look at Hangman, not to say that he's not a legitimate champion, but I just don't take him seriously.
They missed
He's a transitional champion until MJF or some other heel takes it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think MJF is going to be the guy to dethrone him this year.
They missed the perfect timing with Page, you know? And what they should have done with Page is they should have built him up and put him in the mid-card area at this point.
Yeah. Oh, God. He would have had probably feud of the year with Sammy in a lot of ways because, again, you have a high flyer, but then you also have a guy who's not just in his own way being like, you know, a brawler grappler, but he can also be a high flyer if he needs to.
Don't you look at him? He's a lot like Shawn Michaels, too. Shawn Michaels, you know, always had the cowboy boots and the hat, but he was doing the sexy boy thing. And he was a mid-carder, and he sold well, and he was charismatic. You know, Page has a lot of that sort of style. I just think he would have benefited from a boost in the mid-card, you know, competing in these crazy matches. You know, let him win the crowd even more to get to the point.
Yeah.
But, you know, instead they just speed rush him over here because, like, oh, we forgot about, you know, we weren't able to do the push with the world title when people wanted, so here you go. And it's like like you said, it's like an afterthought, and it doesn't, it's fine. It's all right. And I do think Lance Archer's a good opponent for him to have to conquer and beat. So this is a good decision. I just don't like, you know.
Right. I mean, the seeds were planted when him and Kenny became the tag champs, and there were just these moments of, is Hangman going to turn? Is it going to, you know, we had that. My whole issue is that, again, it's like, yeah, Hangman had the setback. So, in other words, when he comes back, let him build himself back up, which in a way he kind of did, but it was just like he was just thrown into the lion's den. And again, you know, and I agree with this wholeheartedly, like, you'll never know unless you throw a guy in the main event. He's great at what he does. It's just that for whatever reason, it just feels like a lull period. I just, like I said, the bloom is off the rose. It's just only a matter of time before it's either going to be MJF or another heel. Hopefully it's MJF that's just going to pick it up, and then he's going to be holding that title for at least over a year, probably longer than Omega did, or even Moxley.
Probably true.
They can wait for Mox or Omega to come back.
Oh, dude, that's going to be Civil War. It's going to be Marvel Civil War. You're going to have the Young Bucks and Kenny taking on Adam Cole and Red Dragon, and it's going to be awesome. They're going to put on some great matches.
Oh, man, and someone asked me earlier about Beat the Clock. Tomorrow night, the clock will be up, and I'll be racing against the clock. Now, 3 weeks ago in the first episode, 2-hour-long show from a 25-minute show, and then we beat the time last week of 4 hours. We beat it with, like, 5 hours?
6 hours.
6 hours. Jesus. Last week's episode was 6 hours on a Thursday night, and it was savage, and we went forever. We'll see what happens tomorrow night, but yes, it will be tomorrow night for the person that asked earlier. Of course, Thursday night, as always, episode 4, I guess it would be, of this sort of Beat the Clock challenge with me.
You like beating the clock, Joe?
Well, I never beat the clock. That's not even the right name for it. It's more like the show that never ends or something. Like, I don't know, like we keep losing to the clock, or we end up staying up really late with the clock. I know
you
that.
get dusted by the clock.
I got dusted
hey, Joe.
6 hours by the clock last week. Yes, Dan.
What do you think about the possible forming of Moxley and Danielson as the tag team or single or something?
I really think it's just to set up a feud between the two of them. I don't think it's gonna go into any of that because of the way Daniel Bryan was talking. Like, you were the best champion. You were great. Like, it's clear that he's like talking up to him to manipulate him. So this really just feels like it's turning into. They're gonna have a big rivalry. Is what's coming up.
Yeah, I think it could be rivalry of the year. Who knows? I mean, he's got. I feel that John has something to prove coming back, especially after what he went through. And again, to anybody who says that he owes an apology to the fans. I mean, well, here's the thing. I don't believe he owes anybody an apology other than the fact that that's between him and his family, and that's it. And again, this obviously, being Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley in this incarnation of both of these guys is going to be beneficial for the brand. And I mean, again, could this be like Macho Man and DDP? Possibly, because I can guarantee you they'll not just have good matches, they're also going to have like great gimmick matches. And it makes you intrigued about what type of matches they're going to be. They're not going to be 2 out of 3. They're not going to be, submission style. It's just going to be brawling, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it could be chaotic, brawling. They could go into a little submission stuff though, and then they could just go completely. I mean, this could be the next. We haven't seen a hardcore match with the men that much. I don't think. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but Moxley and Omega in that match where they had that death match. I could see these two.
Oh God! Don't bring that up. Oh God! It was a fart in church.
What?
Wait, are you talking about the exploding red one or the other one?
The explosive barbed wire death match was a fart in church.
No, that was a mess. But I'm talking about the first match that they had where like Omega went through the glass flight.
Oh yes. No, that match was brutal.
I love that. I mean, because that was just like a street fight that was awesome. Whereas funny enough, the death match was underwhelming.
Yeah.
So
again, if we're talking about a ring exploding, like again, there's obviously the fireworks, the fire, but like the ring didn't like implode in itself. I was looking more towards that.
Oh yeah, well, the ending was bad.
but even the AEW audience at that point said we want a refund. You know what I'm saying? That was in the crowd, and they were pretty loud, especially when that leaked on Twitter. But at any rate, I mean, again, I think that this would be a great feud, and it's a fresh feud.
Right. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think people are waiting for this. The guy's coming over from WWE, that sort of thing. We're finally getting this here. I think it's nice. It should be good, man. It's not like the most anticipated thing in the world to me, but it's just you just know it's going to be good, I feel like. And so like it's star power right there.
And you know what, Joe? It's funny. You brought up they could do a potential submission match. Like, what if I'm like fantasy booking? What if they did like an ultimate submission match or like an Iron Man submission match where Moxley is technically not a submission wrestler, but Bryan is, and you could kind of make it like a new version of Brett and Austin.
Yeah. Well, I would do something. Yeah, maybe something like that. But I could also see like they're gonna have like 3 matches and. I could see it escalating. They're going to have a big match. They do. They're going to have some other kind of match that like some kind of hardcore match. Maybe they have a cage match.
Falls
Count Anywhere match.
CM Punk thing tonight. CM Punk. Did you notice they got? I guess the crowd got bored and they started chanting BJ's Pizza.
What? What the hell is that?
I don't
Apparently,
know.
it's a pizza chain.
They got
that?
Wait, they got bored in CM Punk's match?
Yeah, they started chanting BJ's Pizza. And then Jim Ross is like, you got to love the audience.
I remember
they're
that.
Passionate about everything that they do here or something. I was like, what?
Especially pizza.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. Was it that bad? I thought it was.
It was when it came back and there was just like too many commercial breaks here and there. And then, yeah.
Well, I mean, again, the commercial breaks were mainly for the audience at home. I mean, as far as in the arena,
but they might have been doing
it's a slower pace.
Yeah, but they might have been doing rest holds during the commercial and shit. Like, all right, let's take a break.
Well, I mean, again, it was
going
a slower
outside the ring.
Match.
So I don't know. I didn't fucking find that chant, dude. I swear. It's like, why the fuck are they chanting pizza right now?
I gotta go look that up.
Pizza.
I want to
BJ's Blowjobs and Pizza. I mean, no one's going to argue with blowjobs and pizza. I mean,
extra sausage.
I want BJ's and pizza. Let's fucking go.
Chicago.
I want a sandwich. There's a brand new donation. Check out the chat. Wait, what?
Looks like
Boston
my
has
little
feud that has the
lass
best
needs a shaving.
Well, Black Power History Month is back. Black Power History Month says, history lesson, the successful Haitian Revolution was slave rebellion against the oppression of French colonial rules. Jesus. I almost said cornhole. Was from 1791 to 1804. They enslaved people, killed their masters, and even put French children's heads on spikes to be on display.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. They rose up. They
Yep.
had I'm not saying they're doing this. Oh, fuck. I'm not saying they're doing this, but you're seeing a little bit of this in South Africa now, like nowadays. Like not quite that, but bad stuff. But one of those things where, like, people who own land there, who own land in South Africa, who are powerful, who really took people's land over there, like they did to a lot of the Africans over there, what we did to the Native Americans here, and the enslaved them, and now they sort of live with there, but their background is that. So not that they deserve it, the new families that live there, but yeah, they get like killed all the time. People, like, there's some crazy shit going on in Africa. But
I mean, you want to talk about crazy stuff? I mean, Ethiopia is going through a civil war.
Yeah,
I mean, it's even more insane there.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. There's more. It's out of control, really, when you look at it. I haven't paid much attention, but that's savage. What's going on over there? Because they're getting real. Like, you think?
Speaking of savage, Punk doing that Macho Man elbow drop. Question: do you think that is? I mean, obviously it's a spot dedicated to Randy Savage, but it's like, do you think that it gets overplayed? Like, when he does it in the match, you think it's just the right amount of dedication? Because again, it's obviously an effective move in his arsenal, but again, kicking out at 2.
Well, it was also weird that MJF like kind of put his hands up to block it. It was weird. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What was that about?
I did.
It was like he was like, "Oh, I see it coming. I'm going to try to block it," sort of thing, and then he couldn't, I guess. But it was a weird thing to put your hands up like that, like very high. I don't know if he just misjudged it, but
well, normally your hands are, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but like when somebody's coming off the top rope onto you, you normally put your hands
up a little
bit. Yeah, slightly, but inward just to take the impact.
Yes,
but but you stiffen up just to make sure,
you put them inward so you won't get your arm broken.
It's a weird place to put your hands when an elbow drop is coming. Most people lay there and allow you to hit it. Or they tuck their hands across their chests, or they kind of protect their arms, right? So a knee doesn't get driven into their side of their arm or something. But it was weird that he put his hands up like that. I just thought that was it's a little thing in the match that I was like, what is he doing there?
Yeah.
It was weird. Doesn't mean anything. I don't know. He might have not seen it. He might have been trying to, I don't know. It was just a very strange thing. I've never seen that most of the time on an elbow drop, especially if you know what's coming. Maybe he thought, I don't know, man. Maybe he thought he was going to get splashed. I couldn't think of what it was. It was something stupid, but it was just something I noticed, and I was like, what is that about?
And funny enough, like I was looking like already, because I came back at like 9:30 just to watch the rest of the show, and already by the time they did they restarted the match and doing everything, these guys were freaking tired, and and just like blown up.
They don't usually wrestle that long.
I've only seen MJF wrestle probably as long as when he wrestled Cody, maybe
Moxley and Cody. That's it.
Moxley and Cody, but with Punk, that's probably was that the longest match he's had since coming back?
I want to say he wrestled one of those pay-per-views.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
well,
the match started at 9:30 and it went all the way to 10.
All right, because I remember when he was wrestling Darby, that probably was like maybe less than maybe 20, maybe 18 minutes, and it looked fine. But like in this case, like both guys were blown out of proportion.
And it's been a while, right? So I mean, you got to think about it. It was a long match. It's the longest match he's had since then. So he's gonna look tired. And then on top of that, MJF usually wrestles about 10 minutes or so or less, 10 minutes or less. So but MJF's young, so he can. But it doesn't matter, if you're 22 and you're not doing cardio and you're not wrestling matches out there long, you're gonna get pretty tired after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Anybody is.
Right. I mean, again, obviously these guys are only performing once a week, Obviously
Right.
they do tapings, but yeah, it does show though, because again, if you're not like wrestling indies on a consistent basis and you're only exclusive to AEW, which again, take the money, but again, it also costs like, your in-ring shape if not careful.
Well, let's go ahead to the donos and see what people are saying, man. We caught up on just about everything on this show, I think.
Looks like my little lass needs a shaving.
Oh, boy. The native beast.
So shall an Alabama crack dangler's guy take sponge of grapes and put stem in his butt. Then he squats over girl, nuts resting on her chin, and she has to reach for the dangling grapes one at a time using only mouth, no hands. Any color grapes work.
What the hell?
I am a little bit disturbed.
Thoughts, he says. He wants to know what. What the hell does that mean? The monetize this champion, Mikel, just fucking ended himself over that dono. I mean, there's another guy that beat COVID too, by the way. Thank you for that donation. I mean, I don't know what that means, but thank you. The villain, what up, villain?
Super chat.
Only
party!
2 grapes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I see Cole as champion or TNT title. Best heels 1. MJF 2. Cole.
Yeah, I think Cole. Yeah, Cole could be champion. I think TNT championship or that. I think Cole's better than the Cowboy. Being
Absolutely.
the world champion.
At this rate, yeah.
Right? Like, so that's weird.
Cole is over. But forget the fact that he's a heel. Dude, he is over. And Hangman, yes, he's there, and yes, he's doing his best. I get it. But, again, I'm looking at the longevity of this, and I just think Hangman is just... I mean, we're going to look back at this title reign a couple years from now, and it's going to be like, well, they tried, but it was what it was.
Yeah, you're going to be like... I think it's like you're going to be like, oh, this is all right. I mean, it's still building. I mean, maybe we'll go in a different... Maybe we'll get better. I don't know. But it doesn't look like it's the greatest thing going right now,
It just feels like he's a placeholder for the title. And I hate to say that about Hangman because I love him. I think he's got a great gimmick. But I don't know, man. It just feels off.
You can't let him die, though. That's why he's got to beat some guys like Lance Archer and some people to legitimize that, listen, he is pretty good. But ultimately, that belt has really been dragged down ever since, I would say, Jericho. Who was the other champion? Let's see.
Moxley. Then Moxley.
Yeah,
and then Kenny Omega.
Jericho, Moxley, and Omega were legitimate, and the belt felt fairly legitimate at those points. It feels lost right now a bit. So just a little bit. It feels a little bit lost.
I'm not blaming Hangman. I don't want anybody out there to be like, oh, he just sucks. No, he does not. He's amazing.
Yeah,
but
he's great.
It just feels like after the honeymoon, after when he won the title, I'm like, granted, he won the title. And then I think after when he had like that first match with with Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
It just, I think it was just because they went the hour and we had just saw a 30-minute draw just a few months before with Bryan and Kenny. And we were all for it, but then all of a sudden we get the 60-minute and it was on free TV and it was just out of nowhere. And granted, it was nice to see a feud being built, but it just felt just off for me.
See,
and I just...
I'm going to have to disagree on the Adam Cole thing. Look at NXT Adam Cole and look at AEW Adam Cole. It's apples and oranges. NXT Adam Cole was in shape. He was took seriously. Even though he's a smaller guy, he still felt like a bigger star. In AEW, he's just playing with his friends. He's just having fun. He's not championship material the way he is now. He's all entrance. There's nothing that screams champion to me when I see this version of Adam Cole. Whenever Undisputed Era was taken seriously and they were a threat, then they were good. I like that version. This one's garbage. This one's playing with freaking.
Well, Tex, think about it this way.
You know what I mean?
I think they're building to that NXT version of Adam Cole in AEW.
Well,
okay, but I'm saying, look at this Adam Cole versus the old one. This one's a joke compared to the old version. This is the AEW version, literal version of Adam Cole. It's the joke kids, flippy work rate garbage version. This is what this is.
Well, Tex, so let me put it to you this way. Think of yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with you that in NXT like they were a threat, but the thing is also they're not booked as a threat just yet. They're building them as a potential threat down the road. They just arrived just a few months ago, and yes, they're in NXT. Yes, they were a threat. They pretty much ran roughshod, but you also talked about how they're just playing with their friends. Well, remember. The NWO was kind of the same way. DX was the same way. They were playing with their friends, and yet they're still running roughshod. Right now, they're not running roughshod. It's just a building process.
Okay, but
don't they need like one more member of the Undisputed Era before they can really get going?
Well, remember when they oh, go ahead, Tex.
You can't put the Undisputed Era or whatever this group is anywhere near NWO status. You had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hollywood Hogan against 3 no-namers that don't really stand out for many professional wrestlers these days. Those dudes were stars already. These guys blend into the crowd. They're not championship.
I don't. Wow.
I found the BJ's Pizza thing. It's like it's fucking ridiculous.
BJ's Pizza.
Dude. Please pull it up, Joe, for the viewers.
Did you find this thing?
Girl, you feel me?
Find that thing?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna hear that.
Dead silence after he did it. That's so weird.
Is that the cock crowing in the morning?
Felt like it, yeah. Listen, I'm down. What time? How are you watching AEW? Like, what's the timestamp and where are you watching it?
Should I share it with you or should I just send you the link?
Yeah, send me the link. That's even better.
Yeah.
There's 40 minutes into it, dude. Into this link right here.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking at this just from a fan's perspective, is to say, like, again, the product itself, again, it's building in its own way its stars, and yet whatever they were in a previous company or whatever like that, granted, that was then, this is now. For me personally, yes, I absolutely believe the Undisputed Era it was more refined in this and that in NXT, but it's a whole new different scenario with these guys here. And again, we've only seen them just get back together for a few weeks. So only time will tell whether this is going to work or it's not going to work.
Wait, are you sending me the whole show? I just wanted the clip.
No, yeah, it wasn't the whole show. It's like half the show. Yeah, it was just
oh, okay. No, I mean, I've got the show. Yeah, I've got the show pulled up. I just don't know when it happens.
It's
40 minutes.
Well, 40 minutes from the so like 20 minutes before they cut off air, I'm guessing.
Okay, let me see if I can. 20 minutes before they go off the air. That's 1:40. All right, let's see if we can hear it. Oh, that is when they come back from commercial.
All night long.
Our main.
Oh, there it is.
No, it's 12 minutes.
Oh, they're doing it.
12 minutes.
Event continues here on AEW Dynamite.
Oh, now they're chanting CM Punk.
It's 12 minutes. My bad.
So 12 minutes in, or?
Get your fucking timestamp right, Garguts.
Shut up.
You had one job.
12 minutes before it ends? 12 minutes before the end?
12 minutes, yeah. 12 minutes.
All right, let's see if this is it.
Hitting combination.
Yeah, the left shoulder was never interfered with, never restrained. Done a good.
The 10 count from referee Bryce Remsburg. He's done an example.
I love our fans, man.
Oh, there it is. BJ's Pizza. The hell?
And they show their feelings. They like it. You hear it. They don't like it. You hear that. Oh.
Maybe they just got excited. Maybe they seen a kid with a BJ's Pizza box or something, and they just got excited.
Oh my! Can you just imagine? Like that's like basically a Raw and Izod Center a number of years ago, where it's just like you'll just see anything and just chant it.
Yeah, I mean they were chanting, CM Punk, and then they chanted CM Punk a bunch before this, and then all of a sudden they were like, you know what, pizza, let's chant for pizza. Like all of a sudden we just like.
Now I'm hungry.
It reminds me a couple years back when they started chanting for ice cream.
Yeah, that was the same place.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was at that show live. That was the same show where Dolph Ziggler won the title. It's the same show where the Fandango dance was born. A lot of things happened that night. I mean, again, this was the same deal where it's like, look, if you just get a small pocket, and it works in every case, whether if it's at a metal show or whether if it's at a wrestling show, you get a small pocket of people, and all they got to do is just do one little thing, and it's like fire the gasoline. It's just going to go everywhere. And it was, it's a nice little moment. I liked it. I thought it was amusing, but again, this is also another reason why a lot of promoters, if they don't do something right, the crowd's going to take over the show. Basically, the inmates running the asylum.
Basically.
So
there's some controversy going down with BJ's Pizza, and that's why they're chanting it to get their back or something.
Maybe they got crappy ass Chicago-like pizza
with them.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying. Why would they be chanting it?
Because they're fans, and these are the wrestling fans.
A fan would be. If they're
he would have chanted for fucking ice cream.
Don't you think they're fans? They would have been chanting "Bulls, let's go Bulls."
Yo, check this out. Delusional asshole posts up on the chat. He says needs more beach balls.
Yeah, they don't.
One, beach balls.
Yeah, they're not bringing out beach balls yet, so we know things aren't too bad. Things aren't too bad.
They need more melting signs.
Oh, that's so funny, dude, that sign caught fire. I mean, the videos of people being having to be moved from their seats as they pull the sign down as it's on fire. I don't know if anything really fell on anybody. That's the thing. I didn't get any clarification of that. I just think that for some reason the sign wouldn't stop being on fire, and I think they took it down. But I hadn't seen anybody confirm that things were falling on the crowd yet. I was looking for that because I assumed
they should have let the sign burn.
Speaking of signs, remind me of the guy that always has the box on his head that wears the suit in the front row?
Oh, I don't even know about that guy. What do you mean in AEW?
Yeah, chat roll. Help me out. There's always a guy. He's a wrestler. He constantly wears the box over his head, and he's got a suit on. I keep seeing him every week. I'm wondering when the heck.
Are you talking about Dr. Cube from
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a wrestler. It's a guy. I'm blanking on his name because they're constantly featuring him every week in some way, shape, or form. I'm wondering when they're actually going to utilize him.
Is his name Boxhead?
Kip Sabian.
Oh, Kip Sabian?
Oh, yeah, Kip Sabian.
I didn't know he was wearing a box.
Because he always does it every week.
Really?
Yeah.
What is he doing? Taking Cody's bag gimmick?
Yeah, I must hate Kip Sabian so much that I don't even pay attention when he's on.
Oh yeah, brother saying it says underrated / over it.
Man, I've completely blocked him out. That's hilarious. Isn't he the guy with the hot chick girlfriend?
Apparently so. Yes.
Yeah, Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian. They're the ones that brought in Rusev and they did a bunch of stuff and they were terrible. And I didn't know why they were hired.
Yeah, Michelle is he sucks.
Yeah, and now you're saying, and now he's walking around with a box on his head. So there you go. That's what he's worth.
If he's not making merch money, then I can only imagine why in the hell is he there.
Even I don't even know what you're talking about. That's the funniest thing. I didn't even know he was doing a box in the head.
Hey, chat roll. Let me know if he's on AEW Darker Elevation, because if he's not, then it's just what in the point is having him there, especially if he's under contract.
That's why he's under contract,
and I haven't seen him.
Wow.
Well, he did get injured, right? A little while back, right? Didn't he hurt his?
Yeah, he did.
In fact, I think he hurt his neck. He hurt his neck, didn't he? Or am I thinking of the guy in the Taz group?
No. He was injured for a little while. I can't remember exactly what, but yeah.
He was injured with something, and it was it was just weird. I don't know, but whatever. Either way, he sucks. He hasn't done anything good. Penelope Ford is hot as hell, and
Jersey girl.
That's about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So what do you think this means for Brian Kendrick? He'll be on AEW in 2 months probably. He has to take a break now for 2 months.
Does he have a not necessarily a 90-day compete clause or anything in his?
No, he was going to wrestle tonight.
Ah,
he was booked to wrestle tonight, and they canceled it because he got canceled.
Right.
Give it 2 3 Joe.
No, I don't think it's that long. I think now we.
No, give like 2-3 years for this whole thing to blow over and everyone to forget about what he says.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with Hogan when the sex tape came out.
No, I think it's 2 months. I think it's a month. I don't even think it's that long. All he said was he argued about this, how much of the Holocaust happened, how many people were killed and stuff like that, and that there's a moon base and that the Nazis went to Antarctica. I mean, that's really not the most insane fucking thing, unless I'm missing something. Again, if he said something else I don't know about, then okay, like we can talk about that. But from what I heard, he just basically said, they played up the Holocaust to make it crazier than, what it was to get.
I think that's probably the main thing that people got probably, or I mean people, like the people that actually own the sites.
Yeah.
That probably were just like feeling like, okay, that's not cool.
He didn't deny the Holocaust. He just basically said that, they upplayed it.
Right. No, I know. It just,
it doesn't look good. It's not a good thing to come out in the bad light. Like if I was him, I'd be losing my mind. Like, hey, that's not what I said. I said that they used the Holocaust for these reasons and they inflated the numbers. That doesn't mean
right. But I mean, again, this is not like John Lennon coming out saying like, the Beatles are bigger than Jesus type of a thing. This is a different thing entirely.
Well, I think it's even more important that you get history right. So if he thinks that this is a certain thing that's gone on, he's just talking about it. Is it a conspiracy? I don't know. But either way, like, if he came out and said that the Holocaust was a big made up thing and none of this really, whatever.
That would have been a whole other story entirely.
Yeah, to me, that's a whole different thing. That's like, what the fuck are you just saying, But still, to I don't know, like, even if he did do that, like, I'm just not that type of person that's like, okay, well now you shouldn't get hired. Like, I don't care if you think that. I spoke to a guy who thought that I forget who it was now that I spoke to. I forget, it was a black guy a while back on Dom is Live, and I spoke to him and talked to him and invited him on the show even, and he basically didn't believe in white people or something. It was crazy, like what he thought. And I was willing to talk to him because, like, I'm not afraid of people's thoughts, and unless they're, if you're saying like, hey, let's go out and take people out, or like, Brian Kendrick was saying that, these people are dogs, and things like that in real life. Yeah, okay, well then I wouldn't want him hired. But other than calling for religious people or races of people and stuff like that to be extinguished. Like, that's the only thing that would stop me from hiring somebody.
I mean, at this rate, Tony Khan is, and again, this is a poor time for him because, again, the whole thing with the Swole situation didn't make things better. But the idea that he's trying to do damage control and yet coming after the Swole situation just makes things more convoluted.
Yeah, and they're super sensitive. I get it. But, I mean, it's a different group of people. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, again, there's not a board of directors in AEW. There is in WWE. But in AEW, there's no board of directors. It's just 4 EVPs and Tony. And again, it's like, damage control based upon the needs of the many that outweigh the needs of the few. It apparently that trump card was cast. So again, I
think Brian Kendrick's going to be in the company in a week, 2 or 3. And like within a month or 2, he'll be in the company. So this is.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Right, they let this blow over. They let him apologize. They try to rebuild him, whatever. I mean, Tony Khan said we're looking at the situation. He didn't say he's fired or he'll never work here. He said we're looking into the situation. So now they're going to look into the situation, and he's going to come out with, hey, man, you'll be all right. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, right now, I mean, we're already at a start when it comes to, like, the little things that have come out within the past, like, 6 weeks into the new year. And it's just not looking good when it comes to PR, when it comes to AEW, especially since that social media is so big right now that any little thing can just be taken out of context.
Well, I'll explain why things aren't looking good for AEW. Here's the reason. Because AEW put their stupid SJW crap out there. And so when you advertise to people who enjoy cancel culture and to woke people, and you tell them all that this is going to be the place to really do things and whatever, we're going to be the diverse company. Well, now you're going to be held to this super expectation. And not only are you the one that said you're going to be so righteous and woke, but the WWE is actually doing it better than you in many cases, as far as that stuff goes. but you're the one screaming about it more than anybody, which is typically what these type of people do. And what happens is you get canceled. Dude, the examples are off the page. Why do you think we say they eat their own? It's not a saying because it's just made up. Look at the Harry Potter bitch. The lady that wrote Harry Potter was
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling virtue signaled for so many people, and then they canceled her. And they cancel everybody because it's not honorable. I mean, it comes from you take a sort of a good thing and you ruin it because it's not about being honorable or doing the right thing. It's about trying to get yourself over and be righteous. It's about I called someone out.
Right, but I mean, like, again, also things can be taken out of context that end up being rumor and innuendo, and then one thing leads to another where things just don't match up, and then just people either A, forget about it, or B, believe in a lie long enough.
Yeah.
And at this rate, I mean, again, anybody can believe anything that's on the internet. That's why, again, I try my best not to read like just dirt sheets with no value or only have like been around for like a few years. Like when I look up something, I compare notes and to see if there's consistency before I post something. And unfortunately, I mean, even now when it comes, I don't read People Magazine. I don't think anybody in the JCS Army reads any of these like, tabloids, but
Not
if you
now.
do, then yeah, right. But it's like, even if you do, it's like, it's a comedy. It's basically taking just one small speck of truth and just over exposing it to the point where it has no meaning or value or nobody really cares, and you're trying to get people to care because that's why they want to take people's money and buy their money and just believe in all this crap.
Yeah, man. Hey, trust me, I know that. But it's like nobody reads. I don't even know if anybody reads magazines anymore. I mean, besides like,
or like TMZ, you know what I mean, or like those digital. Like,
but this is worse than that. This is like, yeah. So what? Someone writes an article that's like a hit thing or whatever. We all know what those are, But this is like your career's over, and things like that. Over.
Velveteen Dream is an example of this.
Yes, I am. And listen, Enzo was the first guy. He got, and I know that he had problems. Velveteen Dream allegedly had some sort of issues, but it's like, dude, it looks like I don't know. We don't know exactly what happened, but I just keep thinking that maybe he didn't do anything. If he didn't do anything, he lost his whole career and this push that he had over nothing. No investigators found anything, and that's why I say he didn't do anything. Because
I mean, again, it's all damage control. It's all it is. I mean, WWE is probably a little bit better about it, even though that they've also done some shady stuff that still has never been like proven or solvent. But ultimately, a guy who had it all was about to get it all. And again, even if they were to bring him back now, again, the idea that, timing is everything. And again, there's never always the right time. But with Velvet, it's a shame because it's like same thing with Enzo. When it was proven that there was nothing claimed, again, they weren't going to welcome back with open arms because the difference between Enzo and Velvet was that Enzo was hated by the locker room. Velvet is not. I mean, if anything, he was respected because he was a great worker and he actually came prepared with ideas. But
what it really reminds me of is this dude that was going to be working at the NXT Performance Center. He's a trainer, and he's from here. And there was some sexual allegations that came out to him, and somebody called fucking Uncle Pierce over there, and he put a stop to that real quick.
Uncle Pierce.
That happens a lot.
Well, I mean, that's what they call him down here.
Dude, it happens a lot. And people, like, why do you think I'm not hired? I'm sure they looked at me. And then they went, whoa. Like, here's a clip of Joe being like, I'm guaranteed they were like, nope, well, it's not.
Well, again, because you rock the boat by being real and raw.
Well, but and it's not even just that. It's not just real and raw. It's the thing. It's my comedy on my show. I'm not the guy. Like if I was in WWE, I'd be Dan. I'd be the real me as an announcer. But they don't know. They think this is whatever. So like I would. It wouldn't work at this stage of the world right now. If this was the year 2006, I would be hired probably by somebody. I would have been hired by now, by somebody. I think, hopefully. I mean, humbly, I would like to think so, but maybe not.
Yeah.
So, but
should have done something with Dixie Carter when she was running TNA.
Well,
she was leaving as she found out about me as she was losing the company. So that's.
And also, mind you, that even before Dixie left, like there was a lot of guys like Jay Lethal and a number of other different people that got let go.
Right.
And unfortunately, I think that really the last straw was when AJ left, because that was the heart of the company. And when you took the heart out of the company, it was really difficult to try to maintain order. And then after that, they left Spike TV, which was at one time TNN.
That was so. I mean, dude, that channel was huge at that time. You know,
absolutely,
it was a huge channel to be off of. They were doing 800,000 views, 500,000, 1 million. Sometimes.
Yeah, from 2005 to 2008, a little into 2009, they were on fire. Like, their women's division was the best in the North American region, at least that was televised on a national basis. And yet now it's just like, you look at the glory days of TNA, it's night and day between what was then and what's Impact Wrestling now.
Yeah.
And regardless, even if you took the legends out of the equation, I mean, you still had great talent. You had Eric Young, you had AJ, you had Samoa Joe, you had Bobby Roode, you had James Storm. I mean, you had literally everything in the palm of your hand to make a great alternative. It wouldn't get the same audience as WWE, but it was a great alternative.
And then Hogan had to go in there and ruin it with all of his money. Took
And
all
Eric,
half their money.
Well, that would be fun. You know what? That would be really fun, is to go back sometime and try to book like that situation. Like, Hogan's coming in the company and this is going on. What would you do with him? Or Bischoff when he came in? Because it was interesting, and I was watching at that time. I remember. I think it was summertime, I want to say. Because I remember just warm nights and it feeling a little bit like the old days with, kind of watching, TNA felt like a rogue wrestling company on a hot summer night, and I'm watching Hogan and Bischoff over there. It didn't seem right. And it felt weird, and it was so weird. And I don't know, so I have a little nostalgia nugget for that time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I still remember the reviews that TNA would get when they moved to Monday nights. And, dude, they were getting horrible numbers, as everybody predicted, because it's like, look, you're going up against, at that time when Bret Hart came back to the company. You're also dealing with the fact that Bret Hart's dad, Stu Hart, was going into the Hall of Fame. You also had Taker and Shawn wrestling their last match.
Right.
With Shawn. I mean, it's you can't bring a knife to a gunfight expecting that you're not going to get shot.
It would have been if WWE had been a little bit like they are now, or even in the last 5 years. I think they just would have been. They would have done a lot better, obviously, and especially if you were bringing in like Hogan, but only if that time, right? Hogan still had some value then. I think Hogan could go to a company tomorrow, and I don't think it would draw much at all.
I remember that was
New Jack on there at one point.
Oh, that was for the ECW comeback. Yeah, that was for Hardcore Justice. Yeah, and that show,
was dope.
That show. I mean, granted, I give them all the credit in the world to try to do another one night stand type thing, but one night stand had already happened, and then that Hardcore Forever show happened like a couple days before that show in 2005. And again, there were some moments on there that I liked, but ultimately it wasn't the same, and they couldn't even say ECW on their program.
Right.
Like, they had to call Balls Mahoney's Cojones.
Balls Cojones.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
Oh my
that was
God.
his name, because they couldn't use the real deal. And then the BWO that came in, they had to say BW 2.0.
I did not remember that. That is hilarious.
Yeah, cojones, right? That was, they had to use that, but they brought in Sabu, which originally Jerry Lynn was supposed to wrestle RVD, but I think Jerry Lynn got injured or something. So,
yeah, Jerry Lynn was I think he just had a surgery 5 years ago or something, or 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, he did a lot to his body, bro.
Yeah, he was jacked up. He's always been jacked up, probably from the RVD matches, after 1999 or 2000. I don't think Jerry Lynn was right. Probably wasn't right.
Yeah, and when they put that reel together when he got inducted into the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame just recently, I'm looking back at those matches and going, bro, how in the hell are you walking?
Yeah, dude. I mean, but I've seen a lot of people compete like that, and they have problems and health issues and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. His body really took, for whatever reason, because RVD was in those matches. Other people were in matches like that. But for whatever reason, Jerry Lynn's body just did not like it. He really got. I feel like a lot of people got away with not being as hurt as he did. You know, and I know that he did do a lot of jumping and stuff, and he really beat up his knees.
Yeah,
But-
better than Hogan though. He came out better than Hogan because Hogan's got to like get like, I'm not sure if it's like stem cell or some other type of ways and means to like take care of himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna look like Darth Vader in a few years. Hogan, with a lot of just metal attachments and stuff when he goes through an airport, when he goes through the metal detector.
Wouldn't it be great they book Hogan to play the new Vader?
Oh my brother.
I'm your brother, dude.
In Boston.
What'd you say?
Do you remember that one TNA show that happened in Boston? It was like a pay-per-view or something.
Was it like not like hard?
I want to say it was like,
wasn't hard to kill.
Like,
but-
no, I think it was Slammiversary or something.
Was it Slammiversary in Boston?
I mean, if it was, probably. I don't remember the city, but yeah, there was quite a few of them that they brought around the country.
I
think there was
I
one
remember
here.
the ending of the show. It was like Bully Ray dropping Sting on his neck with the exposed sword or something.
Oh. Was this during the Aces and Eights period or before that?
After that.
After?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
didn't
that's-
really watch TNA. I just went because I heard they were in town.
Yeah, you're
Oh, okay,
right.
'cause-
That was Boston, I think, but I don't know if it was Slammiversary. But yeah, I remember that that was when he pulled the ring up and then spiked him on the exposed.
Oh
wood.
yeah, they just showed that recently on Access TV. Like you have that little 1 hour show after the main program.
What would you say that was? 10 years ago now?
That had to have been 2011, 2012, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it would happen right around when I first started my show.
Yeah, because that was just right after when Jeff Hardy had that that drug induced incident with Sting.
I think I
and, had
reacted
drop
to
the
it.
belt.
I think I reacted to it. Like I think I did a show on it.
Thank God I did not buy it and I just watched it along with a friend or whatever. And that whole show, I mean, I remember when people were just nitpicking the entire show. It was horrible. And that last match. I mean, I remember Sting coming out of the ring and the fans were even chanting, "This is BS." And he was like, "I agree." And he kept yelling in the camera. I felt insulted and thank God I didn't pay for it, because if I did, I would have won a refund. And I think people actually got refunds back.
What? Really?
Yeah, allegedly. Like the pay-per-view company were just so overwhelmed with all the calls within a span of 24 hours that there were actually a lot of refunds.
Oh wait,
being
it was
paid.
it was Slammiversary 2013.
Oh, the one in Boston?
Well, whatever this thing that Dan's talking about is, I don't know if it was in Boston, but it was from Boston.
It was
live.
at the Aganis Arena.
Yeah, it was at the Aganis Arena. You want to see why I know why? Take a look at this. Here it is. I found it. Look at this.
All right, everybody. I promised you I'd come back. And I've
2000.
come back. I've come back on the air to talk TNA Slammiversary.
Shut up, Joe. June 2nd, 2013.
The Boston accident is strong in this one.
Yeah.
Tonight, thanks for coming.
I'll see what I say. To be.
Thrown out there that Bully Ray was going to use that on Sting to see what was going to happen, and then to see it used, to see Sting kick out of it, and then to see Bully Ray expose the wrestling ring mat, which was cool.
So there you go. I did a review on it, 25 minutes, and it got I don't know how many views it got, but whatever. It was 23 likes. Look at that.
This video is brought to you by the Gadget Private. You want to make your YouTube videos private? Well, just press the button and shut everybody up, including the monetize button.
Yeah, it says, well, the
Google Hangouts too.
that was
Shit.
that was a Google Hangout. That was a Google
Oh my
Hangout.
God. I remember when that first came out.
Great spots in that match. If you heard, I did some audio commentary over that match and put it up on a different YouTube.
Oh, so I must have been reacting to the show live too. So that's why I'm saying I'm back. So now I'm here to give
again, but I have to say that Gail Kim, that women's match, the women's match with Gail Kim and Taryn was the best match in the night.
that match was awesome. This was that Slammiversary 2013. Gail
Who was
Kim's,
your opponent?
Tyron Terrell. It was a fire match.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
my God.
Oh, my God. Yes, I remember that match. That was great.
2013. That wasn't that long ago. Then that was the first year, really full year of my show.
9 years ago.
What a great match that match got better. I remember the crowd started cheering. Like at the beginning, the crowd started almost acting like, I don't know if we like this match, and then it started getting better and better, and then by the end, the crowd was going off for the match, and then the match just ended right then, and I was like, oh man, if only they got another like 3 minutes, because the crowd was coming to like this frenzy for the match. It was a ladder match or something like that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember there was a gimmick match involved. And actually, think about it this way. Like, if you remember that Knockouts division from, let's say, 2005, 6-ish or whatever, going towards 2013, bro, again, best freaking talent in the world, best booking in the world in terms of the women's division at that time.
In 2000,
yeah,
17, shit, I was watching more of those than anything.
No.
because
I'm saying
WWE
more
was
so
trash
at the
that
time.
So.
Yeah.
Well, no. The women's division especially was trash in WWE. I'm just saying from about 05, 06 to about maybe 2013 was probably the prime of women's wrestling in North America at that time in a non-WWE sense. And then, of course, you had NXT in 2015, and they took the reins of women's wrestling.
Well, it's weird because I was going on rants at the time saying, like, how come TNT can have good women's wrestling and the WWE has trash women's wrestling? And I was ranting about it at the time. And then literally within that 6 months or a year, NXT started creating this women's division that would become awesome. And it was funny because then the Impact Wrestling or TNA Wrestling, the women's wrestling kind of dropped off. And WWE took the reins in the women's stuff. And it was funny because, I'd just been ranting about that.
The women's wrestling, the tag wrestling in NXT from 2015 onward, I mean, again, that's when it became interesting and just more developed and more thought out, especially when Triple H was the head at that time.
Yeah, that's a great point about the tag team stuff. That kind of gets left behind a lot. But the tag team wrestling that they did in NXT for about 4 or 5 years, I mean, we hadn't seen wrestling like that for tag teams in years, and we hadn't seen wrestling like that since. So that's so
like the first
underappreciated.
NXT, the first NXT show that I saw, I mean, again, I missed the first few of them, but like the one that they had in Texas for WrestleMania, like Jason Jordan and Chad Gable when they were American Alpha and they're facing off against FTR. Holy God. I mean, I remember every spot. That's how memorable it was. And that was the opening match.
That was great. Those guys had great chemistry, great stuff. And, FTR really hasn't been that good since that happened. They were good there. They're good, but it's like they haven't been able to have matches like that. They never got better matches than in NXT at that time.
Yeah, at least on a nightly basis. Because remember, WWE, the way they book their shows and how they pace their shows is completely different from how AEW does it. And they were wrestling most likely almost every night because the WWE, territory, you were wrestling, especially in NXT, you were wrestling 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Vaginas.
Oh, did you say penis?
Yep. No, I saw you put penis in there, so I said vagina.
Oh, you see that big willy I put in there? Is that what you're getting all hard about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I would.
Gargano gets hard anytime he sees a willy.
Free Willy.
Hail Triple H.
Who the fuck calls it a willy?
I don't know, man. Creepy people, but I like it.
Free the Willy.
You want to see my willy? Yo, Dan, Mikel, what's up, Mikel? The champ is here. Yo, the monetize this champion in the house. What's up, you prick? What a night.
Your days are numbered, champ. Your days are numbered.
Oh, what a night. Late December back in 63. Cowboys lost the Super Bowl this year. I remember. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
When Miguel won his shirt, what a night.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong. They didn't even make it close to the Super Bowl. Neither did the Patriots.
How about them Cowboys?
I thought you were going to sing the John Lovett song. Oh, what a night.
Oh, yeah.
Sophisticated mama.
Sophisticated mama.
Gonna take that shirt off and fucking wash it, Miguel.
You could probably wipe your ass with that thing at this point.
Well,
he probably does.
Oh, yes, it's Ladies' Night. Doesn't he sing Ladies' Night? Isn't that what he's singing?
It's ladies' night.
Yeah, that's what it
What
is.
a night.
That's so weird. I'd love Madison Rain to rain her tit juice down into my face.
Oh, dude, with the beautiful people.
I
My
love the
God.
beautiful people. That's my favorite women's faction ever. That was
Yeah,
great.
remember when I
she-
think it was Lacey Von Erich who was also in that group for a little while?
Yeah, like at the end, like she came in, afterwards.
Isn't Madison Rain with fucking Josh Matthews?
Why? You gonna kill him or something? Or?
I think they're what? Aren't they married?
Damn.
It might be.
I mean, guy got locked. He looked into that.
Imagine what they do.
Oh, Michael knows everything.
There's a ball gag going on at that house.
Oh, wait a minute. Kazarian or Kaz, as we know him now. Like apparently he like married who was the valet for Jeff Jarrett when he was the NWA champion? I can't remember. Like I think No, not Rosemary. No, it was the valet. It was the valet for again. I'm trying to remember names, but I believe that's his wife, and they've been married ever since. So, and yeah, dude, she was hot, bro.
Yeah, dude, Rosemary. Did she have a baby or something? She used to be so little, and she got much bigger. She came back, like she seemed a lot more out of shape. Oh,
You mean more thicker, brother?
thicker, yeah.
Yeah. Well. But yeah, no, there's a lot of great talent.
Imagine seeing
Dick like a dick.
I miss the old. I would just. Oh shit! I miss the old broken days. I want the 2016.
Oh, Miss Tessmacher.
Yeah.
Brooke Adams.
Oh.
My God. I'm friends with her on Facebook, bro. Dude, she is. Oof,
Rub one
my
out.
God.
Rub one out.
If that's what you want to do.
Well, you can rub one out. I mean, I'm cool. I mean, I'm taking care of
I
it.
mean, I
Rub it
rather
on.
actually, I don't know.
Hey, Joe,
What's up, Mike McCall?
you think we can see a rematch with MJF and CM Punk?
Yeah, they're probably setting it up for whatever the next pay-per-view is, and I'm not sure what that is, but
Oh, by the way, Joe, they're reminding me here in the chat. Sean Williams is saying it was Tracy Brooks. That was her name.
Tracy Brooks. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's
I forgot.
Kaz.
Thank you, chat roll.
Thank you.
Me the 09 worker. I mean, Daniel.
Whoa, you can't call him that, Mikkel.
Daniel.
man. Watch your language right now.
No, go ahead, Mikkel. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Daniel, we were fire. He was good.
He was fire?
With Brandy Rowe.
Oh, tonight?
Good.
What do you call her? Big brown sandbag tits or something tonight? Like, it was weird. He said something like that. Said, yeah, you like your big brown sandbags or something like that. Definitely said something like that.
What is that noise?
Jesus Christ, what is that noise?
Joe,
Yeah.
apparently.
Sounds like a sandbag.
Somebody needs to mute.
No, that's Josh.
Yeah,
Apparently.
but he needs to mute because there's some fucking crazy feedback.
Josh, your
going on.
mic
What is going
sounds
on?
like it's in a dust storm right now, buddy.
He's got sand in
Dude,
the
seriously, are
line.
you outside in the rain?
Are you in the middle of a desert, Josh?
Are you in the Sahara?
Well, you
It sounds
fixed
like
it.
he was in static.
Yeah, I was expecting him to come on the mic and blow our eardrums off. I was like, oh no.
I thought it was Veer
Alejandro.
Mahan.
Bro, I couldn't sleep last night. I was up looking for fucking. I'm such a dork. I was like looking for Star Trek trailers, hoping that the Strange New Worlds new Star Trek will be actually good as opposed to Picard and the Discovery show. And so I was like watching all this stuff on it, like hoping. And I was like, wow, I'm really a fucking loser at this point. I'm that desperate for a good Star Trek show that I'm just hoping something's good eventually. And it was just funny. I don't know. I'm
See,
just
they
such
made
a loser.
Did you see that they made a cartoon? Is that what you're talking about? The cartoon?
No,
Star Trek?
no.
Did you see that shit?
No, I can't watch that. Even that's SJW. But I
seriously.
But the Strange New Worlds is supposed to be like the way it used to be or whatever. I don't. We'll see. I don't trust them still, but we'll see.
Strange New Worlds. Yeah, I can.
It's got Captain
sounds
Pike.
like already-
It's and it's the.
Oh, you can't say that word. Yeah, call him that.
Pike. You know what it reminds me? Reminds me of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, when he's like,
my gosh.
Let me in, Pike. I'm hungry. You're floating. You're floating, Benny. Like, he's outside. He's like, let me in, Pike. It's okay. And he's like, Benny, you're fucking floating, man, in the air. I know, Pike. I'm hungry.
I'll put you in a pit of pikes.
Pit of pikes.
Bussy. Dude, you used to watch that shit? God damn.
No, it's a movie, not the show.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Okay.
I never saw. Well,
I only saw the first one.
Not the TV show with Seth Green, no.
the TV show was geared more towards women, but like my girlfriend at the
Tweenagers.
time. Yeah, exactly. Like before Twilight, there was fucking that show.
Oh, that movie was terrible.
Bro. Oh no,
Was there an episode with wrestlers?
Now I can hear Josh. Yeah, you sound good. Yeah, no, my ex-girlfriend at the time though loved fucking. I had to be around her when she was like, "I love Buffy," and she was like, I don't know, it was annoying, but
Buffy, and then
I
they
like
did
the
that
movie
shit
though.
with Angel.
Yeah, she
and
was
all
like,
that shit.
"Oh, Spike, I want to like." It was just sad.
Hey, all you emo
Spike my
chicks, do you like
pussy.
drama?
Yeah, here's fucking Buffy's pussy.
Spike me. Spike me.
Spike me.
Pit of pikes.
Spike looked like the type of guy like who came over here because he got kicked out of another country for molesting women, and yet you like him. I don't know. I don't really know that much
look like
about
he-
the Buffy show. I just know. I just know the
He look like-
movie. I like the movie.
He looked like he got kicked out of his show and made a new show. That's what it is.
Yeah, I wasn't a big.
Originally supposed to get killed off in like a couple episodes.
Who?
The one who played Spike, he was supposed to get kicked off the show because he's supposed to die.
Oh, right. And then they got
And
too.
then girls wanted him.
It was
But
too
so many
popular.
People like the character that they forced Joss Whedon to keep him on.
Wow. I did not know that.
Josh Whedon.
It was actually probably a pretty good show, to be honest. I just at the time was with, my girlfriend was just yapping about it so much that made me hate it. It's one of those type of things.
I
Mhm.
like
There
the
was
show
a episode with wrestlers on it.
I thought
There
Angel
was.
was pretty good, but yeah, after season 3, I thought Buffy went to shit.
No, wait, there wasn't a season 3 though, wasn't there? Because I think they canceled it.
No, they went 7 seasons.
Oh, okay, might be. I'm thinking. Oh, you know what I was thinking of? The Jessica Alba show that they had on Fox, and they
You're
like
talking about
canceled
Dark
it.
Angel, where
Oh,
Hitman,
Dark
Yeah.
Hitman ended up taking that entire
And that
first
was a
episode.
good series for a little while, and then they just canceled. I'm like, damn, I want a conclusion.
The movie Hitman. They took that entire first episode and they made it his backstory. That's so weird.
I liked. How weird was it? I
Like
remember
footage from
around
there.
that time or later on, they made the fourth Crow movie, and that guy from Angel and Bones, that guy was in it, and they were like,
Dave Boreanaz. Yeah.
yeah, they were like in some cult. It was a crazy fucking movie. But
Wait,
yeah,
there's more than one Crow movie?
wow. I love
my
Dan.
God.
Oh my god. Yeah, bro. There's like 3 other ones.
Dan's like they made a book out of Moby Dick.
Don't bother
These
with
movies
don't bother with the
only-
second one. It's
Another
just
movie?
it's the first one again, but not as good with a different guy.
Yeah.
So they're not that. The other ones aren't that good.
I think I like 3 and 4. I kind of like them. They're stupid, but I like them. I just think 2 is kind of the most boring one because it's more. It's the 2 is more in the style of the first one, but it's not Brandon Lee, so it's like it's just weird. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan. Almost reminds me of Die Hard 2. How I don't really like Die Hard 2 because it feels like a worse version of the first movie, but it's basically the same movie. And
City Angels was
I
alright. I dig it.
yeah, these are pretty good shows. I just didn't watch them, I guess. They won awards. I mean, they're really good. Like I said, my girlfriend at the time was just so fucking annoying that I was like, fuck this.
You talking about the Wicked Prayer? Oh, I remember that.
Wicked Prayer, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think the third
Wait.
Crow is Salvation.
What was that scary movie? I think it was called The Wicker Man with like Nicolas Cage, but there was like another one before that one, and it was like they got burned. He like burned him in like this straw like little thing, broke his legs, and just burned on fire.
Right.
Like it was
Wicker
like
Man.
the most. It was like the most awkward like furry movie that I've ever seen in my life because everybody was just dressed up as furries until like the very end.
Oh,
Furries.
damn.
I just remember them being
Yeah.
like, dressed up in like Little House on the Prairie shit.
Not the bees.
The B part, yeah.
Like the most random dialogue ever. Anything Nicolas Cage does is like either random or it's going to be extremely entertaining, and most likely you're going to get a combination of both.
Wicker
But there you go.
Man. This summer, Wicker Man.
Oh.
Man, Gargos, you got that voice.
Rubbing your dildos in dissipation.
This summer, Gargots has sex with a dog live on public access.
Oh my god.
And he-
Rated R.
This is for educational purposes, the Mexican boy said.
I'm here, Rover.
Come over here, Rover. Come here. Ah, perro.
Coming this December. Rated R.
Come at me, you little dog. Little house on the prairie.
I'll show you what doggy style means.
I'll show you what doggy style means.
Running down the street, pipping up pin and juice. Laid back.
And with that being said, I'm drifting away. I'm drifting to bed. I'm going to bed. I gotta go to work and now. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I had a fun time. AEW is good. Let's take a look at the poll. Wow, 500 something votes on the poll. Holy shit! If only those people all stayed in here at once, we'd have like 600 people watching. Let's take a
Better
look
than
at
the Royal Rumble.
Is it? We had thousands of
I mean,
votes.
no, not in terms of votes, just in terms of quality. of the
Oh, yeah, the show was better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good show tonight.
MJF CM Punk, 55% say awesome, 30% say okay. So that's a thumbs up from everybody in that match. Pretty good.
Oh,
What's the rating you'll give the show, Joe? What's the rating?
6 out of 10.
Fair. I'll give
out
it
of 10.
I only like again. I'm gonna probably watch the rest of it tonight.
Maybe
but
a
yeah, I'll probably
6.5.
Give it a 6 myself.
But yeah, it's like a.
I was thinking
you know,
6.5.
It was all right. You know, it was nothing that really. That match wasn't good enough to get me there, but I enjoyed it and I enjoyed the night. There was some pretty good promos. I was fairly entertained. I'm kind of being a little bit harsh on it, I think, but yeah, I wish there was a little bit more pop to it, and maybe one other better match to start. Moxley's match was really just kind of like a I'm awesome match, and then turned into the Bryan Danielson trying to recruit him. So, you know, I give the show a thumbs up for sure, but it just, you know, didn't blow me away. But this was the first night in a while that the format followed the older format where the main event was the main event and the show did.
Right.
Yeah, like it was booked a lot more normal than usual. The last 5 weeks have been like huge main event to start the show, and then the show trails off. It's very weird, backwards.
Yeah.
But that's about it, man. Drew Bar,
Yeah,
what
there were
up?
a couple segments where I was like, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't, you know.
The show was overall decent.
Decent show. Decent show. Appreciate you guys being here, man. I'm head out off Discord. Thanks for being here, Josh. Thanks for coming on, getting on, man. New face over here. It's your first time on Discord, right?
Yeah, on this one. Thanks for having me, man. Huge honor, man.
Thank you for coming, man. Sounded good. Thank you, everybody. We'll get you again tomorrow night for the Beat the Clock. We'll see how long the show goes tomorrow. It's up to you guys. It's been crazy. We'll see you. Good night, Mikkel. Take your pants off, brother.
Hell yeah.
Not on camera. Not on camera.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He really pulled his... What the hell? What in the friggin... Oh, my God. What did I just see? I can't believe I just saw that, Mikkel. That was and that's a nub. I'm unimpressed by the nub. Good God Almighty. What was that I just saw? All right, man. I gotta try to get some rest tonight. I got a big day tomorrow, you know, and then I gotta get home, and then we'll do our thing at night. Tomorrow night, I'm up against the clock. We'll put 25 minutes on the clock and see how long the show goes. Last week we went 6 hours, dude. 4 hours the week before that. I don't even know, man. I don't think we can beat 6 hours this week, though, but... we have a brand new belt on the way from Monetize This, courtesy of SITH NEGAN. He's decided to have Jake DeMarco keep the older belt, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about as far as that goes. We'll do that tomorrow night, I think. And then, of course, huge announcement, the belt returning, a brand new monetized this championship, and Jake is going to keep the brand new one that he got because he's Jake, big sexy 2 belts, you know? It's going to be fire. You guys take care. You keep it hard.
Looking for somebody who could save him.
Get weird.
Instead of searching inside for what they gave him, a strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I want to be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. And when they try the chains, you can say no, free me. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him. Instead of searching inside for what they gave him, a strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep
And goofballs who can't wrestle.
Fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. And when they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
And goofballs who can't wrestle. Storylines that even little kids laugh at.
Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him.
Knock it off! Let's go.